Hey folks, the Daily Landsblog here, and I was just talking to some folks via Twitter and via email about Woodstock, Ontario. Now, if you're from Southern Ontario, you probably know the name Woodstock, Ontario. You know the name Woodstock regardless of where you live, but it's not obviously the same Woodstock as is the one that the big festival, the big concert was happened in the 1960s. Woodstock, Ontario is just a small town, a nice small town, 35,000 population. And the reason why we were talking about it and the reason why I'm talking to you now about it is the fact that over the last few months, 5 young people have taken their own lives. 5 young lives ended because of mental health issues and because of bullying. And that is a number I don't even know how to put it in perspective. You know, suicide is perceived by so many as being so rare that, you know, it can't touch us, it can't touch my family, it can't touch our community. And then you hear 5 young people in one pretty small town taking their lives in just a few months. And it makes you sit and think, what can we do about that? What can we do about that? And I can tell you what we can do about that. I'm not talking about being a doctor. I'm not talking about fixing the system, because the system needs fixing. The system is broken, but that is a different story for a different day. What we can do, what you can do, and what I can do is we can create an environment where people feel like they can share. We can create in school an environment where people can talk about mental health struggles, where it's not taboo, where it's not whispered, where someone can go to a teacher or a guidance counselor or a vice principal or a principal or a family member or a parent at the dinner table. We need to create an atmosphere where it's not unacceptable to talk about. I still, it's just so hard to imagine for someone like me how it's still taboo. I mean, I talk about it all the time and it seems easy, and I think I lose perspective on that because this has always been easy for me, and that's perhaps because of my age, because of my wiring, because of my station in life, because I don't know why. But I forget that it's impossible for people. A study came out yesterday that showed about 50% of Canadians who are suffering from severe mental health issues do not seek help. And whether the number is 40 or 50 or 60%, that is a massive number. 5 young people in Woodstock in the last couple of months are gone forever. And I can guarantee you that everybody in those 35,000 people that live in Woodstock have been touched by this. And everyone wonders what they could do. And I can tell you right now what you can do. You can, at your dinner table with your family. You can if you're a teacher in your classroom. You can bring up the topic of mental health. Throw it out there. Lay it on the table. Make it acceptable to talk about. Make sure it's not taboo. And if you talk about it on a semi-regular basis, I'm not saying talk about it every night at dinner. That would be ridiculous. But talk about it so your son or your daughter or your student will be able to come forward and not think there's a huge shock to what they're going to talk about. 5 young people in one small town who suffered from the same illness largely that I have suffered from, and they are gone. I'm not gone. I'm here because I was able to share. That was easy for me, but you need to know that for your son or daughter or your student, it's not easy. It may be the hardest thing in the world, and it may be the most important thing that you ever do is create an environment where they can share. SickNotWeak.com. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 364 days a year, but we can't help you if you don't know about us. So spread the word. Make sure people know that there is a place to come, because when you feel like you're surrounded by others that understand you, there's a much better chance that you'll share.